Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Davey Deathray here. Hope you guys are having a lovely Tuesday evening. Holy cow, you guys are amazing. Not only did y'all fulfill the super chat goal from last night, our guy Pumpkin King came in big time, and the rest of you made that goal happen as well. Last night was such a fun stream. Yeah, what a friggin' blast. And so here we are, bonus late night stream. I know it's past 11 out there on the East Coast, so I appreciate all you East Coast folks that are able to hang out. That's amazing. And then I know for some of you West Coast people, you're like, man, the streams are all done by the time it's like 8 p.m. our time. You know, all the East Coast and Midwesterner folks are already kind of wrapping everything up. But here we are, 11:12 Eastern Daylight Time, I believe is what we're in right now. And we're going to talk about this idea. Just sort of came to me last minute, guys. I figured it would be fun. It occurred to me we have never really had a stream or a discussion, just an open discussion with you guys about the great one-off horror films. So even if the film's been remade, I still consider it a one-off if there wasn't a tried and true sequel. And I thought it would be fun to not only just talk about, you know, I'm sure with some of these, we're happy that it's just one of them. You know, I think sometimes people lament with something like Halloween, like, oh man, if it was just that one movie, like how cool would that have been? Personally, I'm happy that we got a bunch of Halloween movies because I'm a huge fan. But I do think it's one of those things where, you know, we can have that discussion of, are we happy that they were one-offs? Do we want to see a remake? Or do we want to see a legacy sequel? And it doesn't have to just be slashers. It can really be anything within the horror genre. So, guys, if you've got one that you want to talk about, I guess just to bring it to my attention, if you either enter your chat in all caps, or if you, I don't know, somehow prompt me, maybe put Davey all in caps and a nice little colon, not a semicolon, not your colon that's in your body, just a nice little colon there. Davey, all caps, colon, The Prowler, or whatever. I'm always going to come up with The Prowler because I love that movie so much, and I'd love to see a modern retelling of it. But anyways, before we really get cooking, guys, I want to remind you to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share the channel with someone who you think would dig this kind of content, because we have just cruised right past 1,600. And the community is growing and becoming more and more awesome each day. And that is because of you guys. So thank you so much. I'm just the one that shows up, and I don't know, I MC the Hangouts. It's easy. This is just hanging out with you guys. You guys make it so easy. So thank you so much. And also, before we get going, just want to, I always do this at the end of the stream, but I figure why not do it at the beginning. Thank you so much to our Patreon members, our YouTube channel members, and of course, our group of Death Squad mods that not only keep things safe in here, which we don't really have to worry about too much, but also the folks that are sharing the links of other content creators, the folks that are chiming in on the conversation that are on the Death Squad mod side, and like our gal Erica, you know, just reminding you guys about those super chat goals and that is an option. However, I do want to emphasize that just coming in and hanging out and subscribing, and if you have social media, if you want to share it, like, that is plenty. Super chats are not a requirement here. I love to give everyone that piece of the podium and that piece of the floor and the forum when we have a discussion. So, you know, you guys know how I am. I interact with all of you guys. I got a fresh haircut. I'm not sure if you can tell. The pompadour is really in full effect, people. I got a haircut today. Man, she just knocked it out of the park. It feels so nice. My hair, it might be tough to tell. It gets so, it's like a thick carpet on the side. It's like animal hair, like some sort of animal that lives in a temperate rainforest or a very cold place, because it's so thick. And I know I shouldn't, this is not a complaint. I'm very happy that I have healthy hair, but man, when it's 1:15 out in Arizona, like, the thick hair hurts and you wake up sweating more often than not. So anyways, enough about personal hygiene and all that kind of fun stuff. Holy cow, we have 27 people kicking it with us. I'm going to jump in there and say what's up to everybody really quick. I do want to just take care of a couple housekeeping things. So guys, there's a poll in the chat. If you've not participated in the poll yet and you want to chime in there, the poll asks, which non-franchise horror would you like to see a sequel or remake of most? And there's The Prowler, The Burning, Trick or Treat, which is the anthology, or Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And so far we've got 20 votes, and it looks like The Burning is winning with 35%, but right on its heels is Killer Clowns with 30%. Trick or Treat's got 25%, and The Prowler has 10%. So a really exciting poll. I like seeing numbers that are that close. You never know when you do these polls if it's going to be a total landslide. So I love seeing that sharing of thoughts and opinions there in the poll. So thank you guys so much for that. And yeah, I did put another super chat goal in, and I didn't screw up this time. It's just 5 super chats, $2 or more. And if we fulfill that goal, I will host a live Sweet Revenge watch party, because guys, that is kicking off tomorrow. 8:15 p.m. Eastern is when the Jason universe is going to go live. I would imagine that maybe the short starts at like 8:30 or something like that. I don't know, but we will just go live and try to match that time. And just so you know, I won't be able to show the stream over here, but it will be on YouTube for free. So if you join us for the watch party, I'll probably mute my mic during the actual short, just so we can kind of focus on that. But I thought it would be really fun to watch it together with you guys and then just sort of react together. You guys can react in the live chat. I might react in the chat as well. And then we can have a discussion afterwards. And that can sort of be, you know, we'll go early with Late Night with the Davey tomorrow. So we'll do the Sweet Revenge watch party and discussion. And then we're going to jump into Sleepaway Camp. Yes, we're doing a watch party for Late Night with the Davey. Usually I don't do this many watch parties, but I've never seen Sleepaway Camp, so I'm going to watch it tonight. I'm going to take some notes. I pretty much know how the movie goes. I've seen plenty of reviews about it, so there's nothing really to be spoiled. I just want to see it for myself before watching it with you guys. So well, it looks like we're already 2/5 of the way there. So really, we just need $6 more spread out between 3 super chats to reach that goal. And I just thought that would be really fun to do that with you guys. And then a couple other housekeeping things I want to take care of. You will see that there is a link pinned in the chat, because guys, check this out. I want to show you something here. Let me do this and let me do this. I actually set it up beforehand. So guys, this is really exciting. I didn't find out about this until I saw Sam from Our Life in Horror post about it, but there is an awards, I don't know, like an awards group ceremony that called the Sacred Crypt Awards, and they are doing a whole bunch of content creation awards here. And so this post is from Mike and Serial on Twitter, or X, or whatever you call it. I'm always going to call it Twitter because I'm old ass. And the tweet says, the Sacred Crypt Awards voting is now open, with a link below. Voices from the Mausoleum created this to highlight the indie horror community, from creators, filmmakers to authors. Please help us honor them and give them their flowers. So there are some YouTubers on there. There's categories for, you know, best YouTube regular show, best newcomer, all that kind of stuff. They also have like best new author, best like horror book to be released, like up and coming author, up and coming filmmakers, highlighting some of the, you know, independent filmmaking that's been going on from content creators as well, which is really cool to see all of that. And your boy Davey Deathray has been nominated for best live streamer. So if you guys have a Google account, you can click that link that is pinned in the chat there, and you can vote if you'd like to. Now, I will say this, because I love Brendan and Sam from Our Life in Horror. We are both in the best live streamer category. However, they are also listed in the, I believe it's best series, and it's the Made Me Watch series that they do over there on Our Life in Horror. So I'm not here telling you that you got to vote for me, but what I am saying is, if that you feel so inclined to vote for Davey Deathray for best live streamer, I would encourage you to give Our Life in Horror a vote for best series. That's just what I want to say about that, because I love those guys and I love what they do, and you guys know how I feel. The whole competition thinking of competing with other content creators, like I don't try to be in that headspace. I try to compete with myself and do better every single time I'm on here live with you guys, or doing pre-recorded material, or putting together a story, or just coming up with my next idea, or just better at interacting with you guys and building that community that we have, which is so awesome and important to me. So no pressure. Just like the super chats, you don't have to, but if you have a Google account and you want to vote for me, I would consider that an award for all of us if we happen to win it. But it is humbling and very flattering to be nominated and just to feel like we're seen. I think it's really cool to be listed there. Gives you all sorts of good butterflies in your stomach and all that kind of fun stuff. And a couple other things I want to jump on before saying what's up to you guys. Don't worry, I will get to y'all. I love you guys too much to not spend some time with you. But guys, Slasher Trash, the ultimate slasher documentary. This is going to be quick because I've already talked about this a few times, but Creator VC, which is the team behind the In Search of Darkness documentary series, they are putting together a brand new documentary, 4+ hours, celebrating the trashy, gritty, grimy slashers of the late 70s and 80s. And guys, we have just over a day and a half left on their campaign. There is, let me share this link here really quick because I've realized that I've not yet done that. So I'm going to drop that link. That is the link. If you would like to purchase the documentary, you can buy a hard copy, which is about $80. You can get a digital copy for about $48, I believe. And you can check out, if you just follow that link there that I dropped in the chat, that's my affiliate link. And the really cool thing about that is you get to support these amazing filmmakers. They do really quality stuff. And then you get to support the channel as well, because I get 20% of commission. So whichever package you end up purchasing there, it goes all the way. It's from like $48 to like $5,000 if you want to be like an executive producer. So no matter which package you purchase, you get a credit. So you get listed in the thank yous on the film. You also get a digital copy. No matter which version you buy, you get a digital copy of the film and a digital copy of the soundtrack. And also it looks like Creator VC is going to be hosting some live events this year, and I would imagine next year as well, because the documentary is set to release next fall, so fall of 2026. So a whole bunch of really fun stuff that you can take part in if you end up purchasing a copy of the film. And I've just got one more here. So guys, the merch shop. Jamie Hart has been jumping in the chat and been really great about sharing the merch shop. There is a link down in the description below, so you can check out our merch shop there. And if you look at the little ticker down below here, there's a promo code. So if you use the promo code Death Squad, all one word, you get 15% off on the merch. And there's a whole bunch of really fun stuff here. Some of these hats, these trucker hats, are embroidered. Some of them are painted. So, $18 for the embroidered hats, $15 for the painted hats. I price these things reasonably because I would rather you guys purchase them and get to represent the Death Squad gear than have them just sit there and not be enjoyed by you guys. So it's not so much about making money, it's just about being able to provide this gear. And realistically, guys, I think most of these items, maybe I'm making like $4 off of each one of these, something like that. I would say average is like $3.50 to $4. But we've got really cool like hoodies. So we have Death Squad merch, so you guys can kind of celebrate the awesome group that you're a part of. Of course, we got our gal Jamie Hart represented there because she has seen every movie in the theater. So we have a little mug and some other gear to represent her as well. And there's a couple different Death Squad designs. So there's like the superhero Death Squad guys that are all enjoying their popcorn and movies there. You can get a koozie or a mug or a hoodie or a t-shirt. And then we've also got our slimy, grimy Death Squad guys hanging out there on the hoodie and t-shirts. Whole bunch of really fun stuff to check out. You can even get Late Night with the Davey stuff. There's movie punk stuff on there. Whole bunch of fun merch. So I just wanted to show that off to you guys because I know we have some new people hanging out now that we've crossed that 1,600 subscriber mark. So that's going to be it for my opening shill. So I was able to shill the voting for best live streamer. That link is pinned in the chat. And then I was able to shill my affiliate link for the Creator VC Slasher Trash documentary. And now we've shilled our merch here. So it's time to jump on over and say what's up to everybody here in the chat. And before we do that, I'm just going to do this right there. Okay, just so you guys know exactly what we're talking about here today. And yeah, let's say what's up to you guys. Holy cow, I've been talking for 16 and a half minutes, haven't even stopped for any water, and haven't even said what's up to you guys. I know, I'm slipping in my old age. Let me see what we got here for you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so far behind. Guys, I'm going to cruise through here because I want to catch up because I know I'm going to be really far behind. Let's see here. DJ Plays Favorite says I'm going off script here to say Night of the Creeps for a sequel, or even better, 1988 Cheerleader Camp Bloody Pom Poms. Ooh, that's a good one. Night of the Creeps. Okay. What's happening, DJ Plays Favorites? I'm going to save that. I'm going to star all the ones where you guys are mentioning movies, and we'll chat about them individually. We got Gory Tiger. What's up, Gory? Chester Franklin Jr. kicking it with us. King Matthew III says, in my opinion, one horror movie I feel like didn't need a sequel was Thanksgiving. It ended perfectly. Well, technically, we don't have one yet. We do know one is coming, though. But that is one that I would talk about if we weren't getting another one, because I love the movie Thanksgiving so much. Throw out some turkey emojis if you like Thanksgiving as much as I do. We got Adrian James in the chat. What's happening, Adrian? So great to see ya. Jay Beach, how are you doing? Avery is kicking it with his coffee and popcorn ready to go. Hell yeah, Avery. Thank you so much for joining us, man. Really appreciate you. We got our guy, Pumpkin King, one of our newest channel members and one of our newest subscribers, and an amazing piece of this community already. The amount of support that Pumpkin King shows, not only here on this channel, but to other channels as well, is absolutely amazing and so gracious and so giving and generous. So there you go. You got your 3G adjectives, Pumpkin King. Hope you're having a great night. Let's see here. You're quite all right. Yeah, East Coast out there. I would imagine you've got to hit the sack pretty quick here, but we will maybe, Pumpkin King, if you've got a movie that you want to talk about, just let me know and I'll stop everything and we'll talk about it before you have to head out there. We got Big Papa Musk says, have you seen The Ritual 2018 on Netflix? Yes, that movie is so good. I will star that one. I loved it. I hated The Ritual that just came out earlier this year. Really did not dig that one at all. We got our guy, Dean Renner, one of our great Patreon members, channel members, and Death Squad mods. How are you doing, Dean? So great to see you. Dean picked up a copy of Slasher Trash earlier today with that affiliate link. So be awesome like Dean and pick up a copy of the doc. Why the hell not? There you go. And that kind of rhymes. It's sort of a slant rhyme, so you know it's true. We got Michelle Schmidt in the house. How are you doing, Michelle? So great to see you. Thank you for joining us. We've got, who else? Erica kicking it with us. How are you doing, Erica? Always a pleasure to have you hanging out. And yeah, guys, vote for your favorite one-off horror in the poll. There you go. And consider voting for Davey as best live streamer. Why the heck not? Why not? It's free. As long as you have a Google account, you can do it. We got our guy, Ryan Underwood, our very newest YouTube channel member. How you doing, brother Underwood? So great to see ya. Look at Ryan. He is just ripped to shit in that picture. That's actually him. That is not Ryan posing. That's the real dude right there. Yeah, guys, make sure you hit that like button. If not, well, Erica's just going to have to do something about it. So look out, We got Matt Facci from Facci Cinema, one of our great Death Squad mods, jumping in to say, Davey, my guy, when we gonna run away together? Oh, Matt, I would love to, man. Matt's family, I think, you just went out to Ocean City, Maryland the other week. I actually, when I was living out there in Annapolis when I was in 3rd grade, so this was like 89, 90, I actually went out to OCMD with one of my buddies out there, Curtis Ritz. Ritz like the cracker. Curtis Ritz. He and his family had a condo out there, and that was fun. We watched The Abyss, kicked it by the beach. My eyes got bloodshot from opening them in the pool. It was amazing. Pumpkin King dropping in the first $1.99 super chat for that super chat goal with a like and subscribe. Thank you so much, Pumpkin King. Yeah, guys, like the stream if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Okay, I know, guys. I'm racing through here because I know you guys are popping off. That's right. There is that super chat goal going. If you guys want to do the Sweet Revenge watch party, just let me know by dropping a little love in the super chat goal. What's happening, Blu-ray Addict? How you doing, Blu-ray? Always a pleasure having you join us, man. We got Pat, that Halloween movie collector. What's happening, Pat? Holy cow. Pat did an amazing watch party of H2O earlier tonight. If you did not catch that live, watch the replay because H2O, Halloween 20 years later, is free on YouTube. So even if you don't have a copy or don't have one of the many streaming services that might be carrying the film, you can watch along by jumping onto his channel and jumping on over to H2O on YouTube. And he showed off a whole bunch. He really is that Halloween movie collector. He has some really cool memorabilia. So about halfway through the movie, I think he starts showing off some really, really cool shit that I can't wait to, get into a hermetically sealed suit to thumb through when I'm out there in PA next. We got Daz hanging out, says, hey, all, out of all the poll options, I'd pick the Prowler. Well, I hope you voted, Daz. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate you. We got Tyler Adams in the chat. What's happening, Tyler? So good to see you. Let's see what else we got going on. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anyone. Tara Brewer 8981 says, I would probably say either Antlers or 2006's Black Christmas for a sequel. Okay, because you're left off with a cliffhanger. Even the movie Valentine. Okay, sweet. Tara, I am going to star that because that's interesting to do a sequel of a remake. I wouldn't necessarily be against that because I actually quite enjoy Black Christmas 06. It's different. I think both of those movies really could have used a sequel. Big Papa Musk dropping the $5 super chat says, what's up, Davey? Have you ever seen the Apostle or The Ritual 2018? Both are pretty gnarly films with no sequels. I've never seen Apostle. I don't know if I've ever heard of Apostle. Maybe if I saw the poster, it would strike a chord or strike a memory up in me there, Big Papa Musk. But yeah, The Ritual 2018 is fucking incredible. I watched that movie about a year ago on a camping trip. So outside, the stars above me and everything, that was the first watch of The Ritual. It was, man, that movie was so good. I love a good kind of slow burn, folklore, supernatural edge. Like, what I loved about that movie, and the third act, by the time they got to the third act is really only about 20% of the movie instead of like 33.3333. So I kind of like that in horror, where the first two acts are a majority of the movie, even where the first two acts are maybe about 80%, and the third act is a little quicker, because I felt like once we started to get to our revelation and everything in The Ritual, I'm not going to say anything to spoil it, but I really loved how they handled everything in The Ritual. It would be interesting to do a sequel with that one, maybe you could do some sort of anthological kind of sequel with that one, but really do appreciate the $5 super chat there, Big Papa Musk. Thank you so much. Let's see who else we've got jumping on in here. Boom! Pumpkin King dropping a $9.99 super chat, says, looking fly with that trim up, Davey. Well, thank you so much, Pumpkin King. Yeah, it's a little bit of a, I used to have like an actual like mohawk, as you can see in my logo up there. So this is kind of like a nice in between, and it's tough to tell because I have my headphones on, but it really does taper down in the back. So it is like a true pompadour. Maybe I don't know, guys, should I get pomade and start putting pomade in my hair? Really, I don't feel like I need it since my hair naturally curves. No product. I don't put any product in my hair. I just let it dry and style it with my hands. Yeah, who would have known? Who would have known? But now you know because I told you. Thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat there, Pumpkin King. Hopefully before you head out, you can drop a movie that you would like to watch there or to talk about as far as a sequel goes. Or maybe if you want to do a watch party or have me watch something that I've never seen before. Thank you so much, Michelle. Really appreciate you. We've got our great channel member, Antonis Andriotis, in the house. How are you doing, Antonis? So good to see you. Aaron Click is here as well. What's happening, Aaron? Love to see you joining on in. Tara, I see you've dropped another movie to mention, so I'm going to star that one for later. Billy Judd is in the house. What's happening, Billy? So good to see you, bud. And we've got Prince, the Asian action assassin, says Green Day is a green flag for Davey. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Did I give you the impression that I don't like Green Day? Maybe like the newer stuff, I'm just not as hot on. They're huge rock stars now. It's just not as interesting as it is to go back and listen to 39 Smooth or Kerplunk or Dookie or even Insomniac and Nimrod. Now, I know they were becoming big, like Dookie broke them massively, but guys, if it weren't for Dookie by Green Day, I don't know if I would have fallen in love with punk rock and found all of the great skate bands that I listened to when I was growing up, like Bad Religion, Face to Face, NoFX, Pennywise, Suicide Machines, all that kind of fun stuff. I don't know if I would have found all that. Operation Ivy, Rancid, so many amazing bands, and Green Day kind of kicked that door open for me. So yes, Green Day is a green flag for me, for sure. If you're a lady and you have good taste in music and movies, that's one way to open up my cold, dead heart. Michelle, I'm so pumped that your son got you into this as well. That's the great thing about you guys. And the amazing thing about you all as a community is, bringing other people in. I really try to make this channel for every single one of us. And that's why that's why here we are at 27 minutes and I'm still just saying hello to everybody. Because sometimes, honestly, guys, I'm not going to name any names or anything like that. I get it. When certain channels have tens of thousands of viewers and they go into a live, you can't necessarily click on every live chat. I want to be able to keep this going as long as possible and be able to interact with you guys and give you guys, share that podium and essentially the microphone with you guys and let this channel be a place where you're not just listening to me talk at the wall. I want you guys involved in the conversation. So I'm so pumped that he shared and that you keep on coming back, Michelle. I got to switch to dark mode. What's dark mode? Is everything too bright here? I feel like it looks okay. I don't know. Dark mode? Maybe? I don't know. We got Brad Underwood in the chat. What's happening, Brad? So great to see ya. Yes, the link is pinned in the chat, guys. If you're just joining now, you can vote for me for best live streamer. Thank you so much for sharing that again, Erica. We got Ashton Luck in the house. What's happening? Ashton, so good to see ya. Paula Fitzhenry is joining us as well. We got Brett Patrick, who is part of the Pat That Halloween Movie Collector channel. So make sure you check out, make sure you check out that H2O watch party where Pat shows off all his good shit, his fun memorabilia, and you can hang out with Brett as well. I could win Best Yapper. In fact, when I was a senior in high school, I won Motor Mouth and Most Likely to Join SNL. And I had to pick between which one. And so I picked the most talkative. I think my brother Rob won most talkative as well, just a few years before me. So that's pretty funny. It runs in the family, folks. There we go. Pumpkin King showing his gobble, 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 gobble love for John Carver and Thanksgiving. Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. What a fucking movie. Love that movie so much. All right, Tyler, I got your pick starred right there because I think that, yep, you are mentioning one that you want to see a sequel to. We got the lovely Brooke Scarlett in the chat, one of our great channel members and Death Squad mods. How are you doing, Brooke? And I think I'm getting close to catching up with you guys. John Doe Juggalo is in the chat. What's happening, Jeff? So great to see ya. And guys, if I happen to skip over one of the films that you want me to talk about, if I miss it, once we jump back in, or once we actually jump into that, then just feel free to put it back into the chat for sure. And if you're feeling saucy and you want to drop a little $2 super chat to fulfill that super chat goal, then I'll for sure see it and be able to highlight it. But again, guys, super chats are not required for sure. Let's see here. Ooh, there we go. I see one from you, Daz. Thank you so much. Let's see what else we got going on here. Just want to make sure I'm not missing the opportunity to say hello. I'm going to mention that one, Aaron, a recent film that you had just mentioned. I see ya. We got Dynamite Tiger in the chat. What's happening, Dynamite? So great to see ya. Oh, when I was on Twitter. I'm on dark mode, I think, on my phone. So, yeah, I guess I haven't done that on the... is that an option? I'm looking at the webpage now. I'll have to dig into the options. Very rarely am I on Twitter on the actual, on a web browser for sure. Usually it's just the app on my phone. Okay. I feel like I'm all caught up. And yes, Michelle, if you have not yet seen Thanksgiving. I highly recommend it. You're a Halloween fan. I see that in your screen name there, that you love Halloween. There are certainly some elements, some really cool sort of, John Carver standing in the background ominously like Michael Myers from the original Halloween, but also it's got a really great whodunit / revenge element. So a little bit of My Bloody Valentine, The Prowler, little touch of Scream, I guess, going on there as well. Dark mode for everything. Yeah, my phone is on dark mode for sure. Dark mode for the dark web, right? Yeah, guys, make sure to hit that like button. And okay, here we are. I finally reached the end of the chat. Holy jeez, we're 30 minutes in, and here I am finally getting into the crux of the conversation. Wow, that's just, you know what it is, guys? I know maybe I seem like I'm long-winded, and I am. I'm long-winded. I know it. I'm me. I have to deal with this all the time. It's very, very difficult on me. That's why I have so many problems. But you guys are amazing for kicking it with us for so long here as I just go through and say hello. I do want to let you guys know, as part of my accountability, I'm approaching 7 days without alcohol. So I'm pumped. Very good. It's been a good day. Got a workout in, went grocery shopping, got my hair cut, and now we are kicking it. So let me jump into, well, how about this? How about I jump into our poll and see where our poll is at? We have 33 votes. That's amazing. Make sure to cast your vote if you want to have your voice be heard. And guys, it is neck and freaking neck here. 34 votes now. And Trick or Treat is winning with 32%. The Burning and Killer Clowns are tied with 29%. And the Prowler has a lowly 9%. I'm curious, is it just because the Prowler is it not very well known? Is that a bit of a deep cut for me to be digging on the Prowler? I think maybe it is. I do think The Prowler could be a better movie, but I love Joseph Zito's directing style. I love the look of the film. Tom Savini's kills are really, really good. The gore effects are great. And man, a modern retelling of The Prowler, where you just, instead of World War II, you just update it to one of today's many conflicts. It's no surprise to you guys, I'm sure, to let you know that us human beings are always in the middle of multiple conflicts. So I think that an updated Prowler would be really interesting. That's just my 2 cents. If I could cast a vote, that's what I would cast a vote for. But I think all of these are really great options. So thank you guys for voting on that. And holy crap, we reached our super chat goal just like that. Holy cow, Pumpkin King. $49.99, a 50 burger, says Black Christmas 2006 doesn't get the love it deserves. I love Christmas horror. Props on the 7 days. Thank you so much, Pumpkin King, for the props on the 7 days. And you know what? I guess I'm not surprised to know or to learn that you're a big Black Christmas 06 fan, because I think where I first saw you in the chat was over on the Lost River Drive-In. And I know our buddy Nick is a huge Black Christmas 06 fan. And guys, full disclosure, the first time I ever saw that movie, I was about 6 months in on the channel. So it was Christmas of 2023. And I watched and reviewed all of the Black Christmas movies. I mean, I had seen the original multiple times, but I watched the 06 version a couple times in preparation for the review. And it was a struggle to make it through the 2019 version to put together a review for that one. But yeah, I'm right there with you. I think that Black Christmas 06 has a really great aesthetic. I love the warm sort of yellow hue. It's got a soft yellow, but then also those big bulb, colorful Christmas lights. There is something so attractive about that look. And then also, man, opening up, that first kill is really great, but also that song by K-Star, it's called The Man, Everybody's Waiting for the Man with the Bag. Oh my gosh, like what a really cool kind of jazzy lounge Christmas song that I don't think I had ever heard until watching Black Christmas 06. And I was like, man, this is amazing, because it is a Christmas song, but then also the original Billy uses a bag for multiple kills in the original Black Christmas. And then they also brought that back I mean, right at the beginning of the movie. Spoiler alert for a Christmas horror movie that came out in 06. But yeah, the bag with the pen right in the eye. Just such a cool, what a great like homage. I really feel like Black Christmas 06 is a true love letter. And god damn the Weinsteins for meddling with all of these Miramax and Dimension Film, just screwing around with all of these filmmakers' visions. Because while the movie is still a good movie, it could have been a lot better if they just stepped back and didn't meddle and let the guy cook. Because yeah, Black Christmas 06 is plenty of fun, and I'd imagine it would have been even better if the Weinsteins didn't get their grubby little paws in there. But thank you so much again for the $49.99 super chat, Pumpkin King. You fucking rock, bro. Thank you. And we got Erica dropping a 5, says only need one super chat after this one. Well, holy crap, because it went boom, boom. So Erica, you actually get to be the one to seal the deal and help me hit that goal. And yeah, hit the like button, everyone. Thank you so much, Erica. Really appreciate you. Not only are you an amazing mod here on the channel and on other channels as well, but really appreciate the super chat love. And guys, that seals it. Just like Erica said, we are going to do a Sweet Revenge watch party. We're going to, fuck it, we'll do it live right before or as a precursor leading into the main event for Late Night with the Davey tomorrow. We're going to watch that together. Again, I can't show it on the screen, so you'll have to bring it up yourself on YouTube. But we will talk about it in the chat while it's playing, and we'll have a discussion afterwards. I think that'll be really fun. I bet the Jason universe is probably banking on a lot of people doing that. So make sure you share the stream with your friends. I'll be sure to post it and share it here on the community before we really, or before the night is over. Thank you so much, Pat. Really appreciate you. It sucks because I love the way beer tastes, but once I have 1, I have 2, then I have 5, then I have 10, and ooh, then I'm in trouble. The Burning needs to win because it has Jason Alexander, aka Can't Stand Ya. Yep, it sure does. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you, Dynamite. I think the Prowler is better than Friday Final Chapter. Yes, they are both Zito and Savini, and that Daz, that is a hot take right there. I dig that hot take, though. I think it's tough. Final Chapter is so quintessential. It has everything that you would want. But yeah, guys, let's talk about, you know, some of these movies, some of these horror movies that were just one-off, you know? Yeah, I get you. I feel like The Burning, everyone is itching for something like that with The Burning. So let me just catch up here. It is complete dog shit. Yes, you're absolutely right. We got Slasher Fred in the house. What's happening, Slasher Fred? Says one of my favorite best one-off dimensional horror movies is Ghost in the Machine, which was directed by Rachel Tallahay. In the movie, you have the serial killer whose spirit infiltrates machines. I feel like I've heard of that movie, but I haven't seen that one, Slasher Fred. I'll have to check that one out. Thank you, guys. Yes, and thank you, Erica, for showing the love back to the folks in the chat and in the community. Really appreciate you there. We got Eli Cortez in the house. What's happening, Eli? One of our great channel members and Death Squad mods. Eli, did you pick up your Slasher Trash documentary? I hope you did. I hope you used my affiliate. If they remade The Burning, his weapon of choice should be some type of blowtorch or flamethrower. It would only be right. Spaceballs, the flamethrower. Yeah, so let's go ahead and jump on into this. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. 27 people kicking it with us. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. And think about sharing the channel with somebody who you think would dig this kind of content. Guys, the community is just getting bigger and more awesome, all because of you guys. So let's jump into DJ Plays Favorites. I believe he got the first mention here. So he says going off script here, which really you're not. I mean, this totally fits. So you are right on script, DJ Plays Favorites. Night of the Creeps. Favorite one-off, Night of the Creeps. This is a movie that it might surprise you guys. I have not yet seen this one. And I know it's an absolute classic. I believe Fred Decker wrote this film. I love so much of what Fred Decker's done, not only with, you know, the Monster Squad, but also I believe he wrote one of the RoboCop films, if I'm correct in that, and some Tales from the Crypt action as well. What do you guys think of this one? Night of the Creeps, you want a sequel? Do you want a remake, legacy sequel? What do you want to see? Do you want to see a reboot? Some of these, I think when they're so old, it would be cool to sort of like modernize these movies that never really got their time in the sun, you know? So I'm going to cruise on over here. Is that true? Is Killer Clowns getting a remake? I've heard something about Killer Clowns, but I don't know if I've seen anything solid. But I cover so much news here, Brooke, that maybe I have covered it and just totally forgot. But what do you guys think? Night of the Creeps, or maybe some of you are like, yeah, Cheerleader Camp from 1988, which is a movie I think I've seen. Is this the same movie? I'm gonna have to go back into my memory bank of walking through the VHS aisle of Videoland in Juneau. Is this the one that's got like the skeleton girl like jumping in the air with the cheerleader outfit on and the pom-poms? Is that Cheerleader Camp? Is that what I'm thinking of? But I know that Night of the Creeps is a total cult classic that a lot of people really, really love. So let me see what you guys are saying here. Tyler says, oh shit, Clowns is getting remade. Ryan Gosling got on board. Okay, that sounds familiar. Or a sequel. Okay, well, shoot. You know, I don't think they've gone to camera yet, so anything could happen. So the poll still stands. How about that? Let's see here. Avery says, all I remember about Night of the Creeps is I used to jump from couch to couch after watching it. Dad says never seen Night of the Creeps either. For years, I confused it for Night of the Comet, which I have seen. I've seen that one as well. Night of the Comet's pretty fun for what it is, for sure. Yeah. Tyler says, I love Night of the Creeps. Down for a sequel. Him and his buddy Shane Black could totally still do it. Yeah, that would be like a couple heavy hitters coming back. Why not do like a legacy sequel? Or yeah, just a modernized reboot could be really fun. Yeah, I think that's the key. When you remake a movie, you've got to do something to modernize it. You can't just do like I think one of the faults with the new I Know What You Did Last Summer is it was just so similar to the original 1997 film. They didn't really update it in any way other than having younger actors and, modern clothes and modern vehicles, but like it really didn't have much that was very different. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Dean says that is absolutely Cheerleader Camp. Okay, cool. Skeleton cheerleader. All right, there we go. The skeleton cheerleader is Return to Horror High. Maybe it is. Night of the Creeps is a good movie with Tom Atkins. Yeah. Brooke loves Night of the Creeps. Remake or sequel is fine. There we go. Clowns remake in development at MGM Amazon. Okay. Dean says Night of the Creeps is kind of schlocky, fun, and peak Atkins. Does Atkins have a mustache in it? I think the only one he doesn't have a mustache in is The Fog. Is that right? Or maybe is he in one of those Maniac Cops or something like that where he doesn't have a mustache? It just doesn't look right. Seeing that upper lip be bare on Atkins, it's like something's missing. It's like cutting Samson's hair. You just can't do it. Don't do it. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on from Night of the Creeps. And I know that I didn't bring up everyone's chat. I just wanted to keep the one that we're talking about up here. So with Big Papa Musk, we did talk about The Ritual. Okay, so Antlers or 06's Black Christmas. So we got Black Christmas. We talked about that one. Guys, I haven't seen Antlers. I know it's a folklore kind of thing, right? I believe that's what it is, but I haven't seen that one. Guys, let me know in the chat. Is that something that you recommend that I watch? First off, watch the original. And what do you think of a sequel? Because I think it's relatively recent, right? Within the last 5 to 8 years, something like that. Yeah, Ashton, Atkins is in Night of the Creeps. Antonis says, I've been wanting a sequel to Trick or Treat for years. A lot of horror fans have wanted a sequel. Yeah, and I know there's been a lot of talk about that for sure. So it could still happen. The cool thing about a sequel to Trick or Treat is since it's anthology, you don't need to bring back any of the same actors at all. You can do brand new stories every single time, and you can always get a new person to play Sam every single time as well. He had a mustache in H3 and others not the fog. There you go. Atkins is badass. Tom the Stash Atkins, or as I like to also call him, Backkins, because he's got a big old sexy back in Season of the Witch. It's his back just could eclipse the sun. You know what I mean? Let's see here. What are we saying about antlers? Never seen antlers, says Brooke. Eli reminds you guys to hit that like button if you haven't already. Holy cow, we have 31 people watching. You all are so beautiful. Thank you so much. About a half hour into the stream, and we already reached our super chat goal, so you guys are just amazing. If I happen to miss the movie you want to talk about, then feel free to put it in the chat again. If you do give a super chat, I think it's just as little as $1.99 if you really want to make sure I don't miss it. But again, I want to reiterate that super chats are not required. I love all of you equally. I love all my kids the same. I love all you kids the same, man. Okay, let's go ahead and see what else we got going. Holy cow, we have the amazing Jamie Hart in the chat, our mama mod, the original Death Squad mod, and one of our very first channel members as well. Jamie and Eli are both celebrating 12 months of channel membership. How cool is that? All right, let's go ahead and jump on over to the next one here. What do we got? Oh, yeah. Tara. So, okay, so we talked about antlers. We talked about Black Christmas. Tara's got another one. And this one popped up on a lot of lists that I looked at. Cabin in the Woods. What do you guys think about a sequel to Cabin in the Woods? I think maybe a reboot we wouldn't necessarily need. But it is odd with Cabin in the Woods because essentially the movie ends with like the destruction of planet Earth, as far as I remember, right? Don't like the gods literally like stomp out the Earth at the end of Cabin in the Woods. So maybe you could, if you're gonna do, instead of a sequel, maybe this would be one of the only times where it would make sense to do a prequel, right? So you do a prequel where we still have the same setup of this, shadow government agency or whatever, that is underground and running these simulations to appease the gods, essentially. And so you could do this, man, Cabin in the Woods, now it's starting to like percolate and develop in my head. This could be an anthology series. I mean, honestly, Cabin in the Woods, you could do they could almost be like shorts. You could do like a mini series of Cabin in the Woods with prequels where each episode is like 45 minutes to an hour, and it's one of the instances where the people actually do all get defeated, or because right in Cabin in the Woods there's places all over the earth. It's just the fact that none of them all end up dying that makes the gods come back and destroy the earth. So this is a really interesting one, Tara. I really dig this idea. A Cabin in the Woods sort of like prequel series, anthology kind of series. Tyler, I see yours. I'm going to star that one. We'll talk about that one for sure. Brooke says maybe a prequel to Cabin in the Woods. There we go. Pumpkin King says not before Black Christmas. Yes. Hey, you know what, Pumpkin King? I'll take all the Christmas horror you got. I am pumped for the Silent Night, Deadly Night remake. And I've only seen the original once. And I think the original is fun and everything, but I am over the moon with Rowan Campbell being in Silent Night, Deadly Night, because I am a Halloween Ends truther. I love that movie so much. It's my favorite sequel in the Halloween franchise, and I'm so pumped because I think Rowan Campbell is perfectly cast for that. So yeah, Pumpkin King, I will take all the Christmas horror you got. But this is I usually hate prequels because for the most part, prequels just give us information that we already know. So it literally is every negative thing that people say about legacy sequels, where they're like, it's just winking at the audience and it's just Easter eggs. Most prequels to me, that's all they are. Like the Star Wars prequels, whether or not you love those movies, they're completely unnecessary. Like we don't get any information in those movies that we didn't have before. Like, yeah, I guess you can say, well, we didn't know where the clones came from or what, exactly. Like you didn't know these little tiny details, but like We know that Anakin is gonna have kids with, you know, a woman, a woman of royalty or a politician, and we know he's going to turn into Darth Vader. We know what the Clone Wars take place. We know that Palpatine gains power in that era. We didn't need any of that. Like, so usually I hate prequels, but with something like Cabin in the Woods, yeah, I could be into that. And Aaron says, yeah, presumably so at the end of Cabin in the Woods. Yeah. Chester likes the idea. Tyler Adams says, yes, please. Very cool, Davey, says Brooke. And Brooke, you might have mentioned the prequel idea even before I had said anything about it. Aaron says, I like Cabin in the Woods, but it gets kind of comic book corny with the multiple monsters at the end. Well, for sure. It definitely has that. I don't know if you guys have all seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the TV show, but I think it's like season 3 or 4 where they have like the initiative. And it seems like that's what they're basically doing in Cabin in the Woods. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think Scott Derrickson directed Cabin in the Woods, but I think Joss Whedon produced it or helped put it together, and it had some sort of hand in it. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was an intentional kind of blending of worlds or borrowing of an idea. But I totally get what you're saying, Aaron. It does get that way. I think that's them leaning into the kind of dark comedy that's throughout the film. So I was like kind of there for it because I felt like throughout the movie, it was relatively consistent that we were sort of being tongue-in-cheek for sure. We know in a prequel everyone dies, but it would be fun potentially. Well, and what I'm saying, Avery, is that it would be a totally different groups of people. So yeah, we know that those people don't make it out in the film, but you could do other versions of prequels, like anthology prequels of Cabin in the Woods, where it's totally different sets of characters every single time. Some make it, some don't. But we always know that there has to be, I think the stipulation is there has to be one group of people all over the world that don't end up making it. So 99% can make it, but at least one of the monsters has to be successful. So I think it could work. I really do. Chester likes the idea. Okay. We're digging the idea of the Cabin in the Woods prequel or some sort of follow-up. Let's see here. Somebody asked me, Avery, you asked, have you seen 2012 Silent Night? I have seen that. I watched it during a watch party on someone else's channel. It was fine. It was, nothing. It didn't stand out to me as anything like amazing or anything like that, but it was like for what it was fun. I think I like the original more because I do like that sort of like mental torture side of it, just because it stood out as being different. Whereas the 2012 Silent Night to me is a lot more of like a traditional slasher, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it just didn't stand out to me as much. It was fun. Yeah, you're right, Dean. And there you go. Pumpkin King agrees as well. Eli wants to see a Stephen King's The Night Flyer be remade. Is that a vampire story? I feel like I can picture, because was that made as like a TV movie or something like that, Eli? I don't know what it is. There's so many Stephen King adaptations that it just doesn't seem like they really nail those, does it? Seems like they have a tough time with that. Fright Night prequel. Ooh, that could be interesting, but we are talking about one-off, so I won't spend too much time on it, Chester, because technically Fright Night did have a sequel, and I'm trying to stick to just like the one-off sort of thing here. But yeah, I guess seeing where Jerry Dandridge came from originally could be interesting. Okay, let me jump back on over to some of the starred chats we have here. We've got one from Tyler Adams says, give me a damn Nightmare Before Christmas sequel. Jack fails Christmas, but says he has some new ideas for next Halloween, and we've never gotten to see what Halloween is like in that universe. Okay. I think that this is actually a pretty solid idea, Tyler. And not only, who cares what I think, right? I think this is an idea that can make some damn money. I really do. Especially with, even though I didn't love Beetlejuice very much, I thought it was just kind of a rehash with a few things moved around, but definitely more of a rehash than The Force Awakens was of the original Star Wars, which everyone accused that movie of. I would say Beetlejuice is almost like beat for beat, pretty much the same story as the original Beetlejuice. But this idea is cool. And especially with the technology that we have today, I think it could be beautiful. And again, I think it would be fun, kind of like what you're talking about, Tyler, because I know you work in practical and you work in digital effects. So creating something practical and then using that computer generated element as well. I think this could be like a really cool blend, a really cool next step for stop motion. This could be really cool. I mean, Danny Elfman's still rocking and rolling. So, and I think he's touring lately. So I would imagine he can still sing very well. So he'd be able to do, you know, write the songs and be able to sing. Cause I don't think he's Jack's voice on the speaking part. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I know he's Jack's voice for the songs. I think this is a really cool idea, man. I think you should give Tim Burton a shout if you've got a way to get a hold of him. Be like, hey, Tim, first time, long time. I think you should do a sequel to Nightmare Before Christmas that's about Halloween instead this time. I think he would dig it. I think he would dig it. Big Papa Musk, I see you dropping another one. Ooh, Jamie Hart's got one here. Tyler's got another one. We'll get through as many as we can, guys. I don't want anyone to be offended if I miss you, but I will try to be a little more economical about how much I talk about each one of these. How about that? Jamie, I saw somebody mention It Follows, and I'm like, incoming, and Jamie's got her I hate It Follows, and I rarely hate anything. It's true, guys. Jamie rarely does hate anything. It's very, very true. Okay, I really dig this idea. You know, I think regardless of what you guys are saying about this Nightmare Before Christmas sequel, I think we've got I think we have a winner. Pumpkin King says, Tyler Adams, we are now best friends. There you go. I don't think I've seen Fright Night 2 either, Tyler. I don't think I have. I've seen the original just a few times. Not seen that one. I've seen the original 30 Days of Night. I thought it was okay. I thought it was fine. It's a movie. When people find out I'm from Alaska, everyone wants to know if I love that movie, and I'm like, I think it's fine. I'm picky about my vampire stuff. I'm just damn picky about it. And I wasn't the biggest fan of Josh Hartnett until like more recently. I think he's gotten so much better as an actor recently, for sure. Blood Rage, says Billy Judd, needs a sequel. Now, this is another classic slasher I've never seen. If I remember correctly, this is a Thanksgiving-themed slasher, and it was on the list. You just made the list. It was on all the lists that I looked up for the one-off horror movies. Blood Rage was on there. Guys, let me know in the chat. Since I haven't seen it, I don't have much to say. Do you guys think that Blood Rage either needs a sequel, or do you think that now that John Carver's kind of cracked the turkey wide open, do you think we need to see a return or maybe some, you know, riding off the coattails kind of Thanksgiving movies, like a reboot of Blood Rage? Let me know here. I'm going to check really quick. See here. I think I've got that. Was somebody else mentioned, or did you mention that one earlier, Eli? Yes, Demon Knight is friggin' fantastic. If you guys have not seen Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight, it is such a good movie. I think Bordello of Blood is like fun for what it is. It's very like pulp comic booky. Demon Knight is exquisite, and Billy Zane is friggin' chewing it up. He's got a straight up Jim Carrey energy. And if I remember correctly, I think that was before Jim Carrey was like that well known. I mean, he was probably on In Living Color at that point, but yeah, really strong cast. CCH Pounder, you know, I think Jada Pinkett Smith or Jada Pinkett at that time, really solid in that. What's his name? William Sadler, one of my favorite character actors. Yeah, I would love a sequel to Demon Knight there, Eli, for sure. Aaron says, oh, shoot, I know malls aren't quite as popular and common, but what about a remake or sequel to Chopping Mall? You could even address the scarcity of malls and make it kind of meta. I saw that all over the list too, Aaron. And how about this? As I was reading your comment, this popped up into my head. What about Chopping Mall, but it's like drones that are delivering Amazon packages. What about something crazy like that? Because we don't have malls. So some of the wiring or the CPU from those robots like accidentally get reappropriated into a series of drones or something like that. Or maybe they're supposed to be like security drones for, you know, gated communities. So we have this gated community, big old teenage house party while the parents are all gone or something like that, a graduation party, something, and we either go the consumerism route by having them be Amazon drones, or we just go the security route from Chopping Mall and have them just be security drones. That could be interesting. That could be very interesting. This was one that was popping up all over the place as well. The Faculty. Could see Elijah Wood and Josh Hartnett being up for it. I agree. And I don't know if you would want to do a sequel or if you just reboot it and maybe they're teachers this time around. They're playing different characters. Or I guess you could do a legacy sequel and yeah, one of them's a teacher, one of them's a principal or something like that. It would be quite an interesting turn, especially given that Josh Hartnett's character, I believe his name is Zeke, was a total friggin' drug dealer. That would be interesting. I think guys, I would not be surprised with the legacy sequel and the reboots of the 90s, early 2000s movies. I would not be surprised to see The Faculty come back one way or another. Aaron just watched Weapons today, loved it. It's a great standalone. I dug it. I didn't love it, but I do think it's a good standalone. Yeah, for sure. I think it was a solid movie. I wanted it to knock my socks off, and it didn't quite get there, but hey, you know, what can you do? Gotta mention Hush as a one-off, says Dean Renner. Fantastic flick. Yeah, Hush is really, really good. I mean, talk about the tension and the dread, putting you in the shoes of the protagonist and an antagonist that is very capable and frightening, you know, getting near to that Michael Myers level, but you know, somebody who is verbal, but very, very creepy. And yeah, man, Hush is really good. Does the killer get killed in that one? Does he not make it out? I think that's a good one-off. I don't even know if you really need to follow that up. And honestly, with how busy Mike Flanagan is, what are the odds that Mike Flanagan would ever be able to do a sequel to Hush or a prequel or any sort of expanded sort of universe? That would be wild. But yeah, Hush is a great one-off film for sure. Dynamite Tiger votes for Brain Scan. Now, I've only seen Brain Scan once. I watched it a few months ago. I was relatively lukewarm on it. I think the idea was pretty cool. You know, sort of doing a little bit of a Nightmare on Elm Street kind of vibe. And sort of like a giallo, like an American giallo movie. I liked those aspects of it. Unfortunately, Edward Furlong is not very good in that movie. And he kind of took me out of it for sure. And I think what's his face, the main bad guy, whatever his name is, you guys can remind me in the chat. It's like right on the tip of my tongue, and I just can't think of it for whatever reason. I thought he was like kind of a cool look, but also sort of silly, very of its time. Definitely not a timeless look like Freddy, Jason, or Michael. Very much of that early to mid 90s kind of look. But I do think Brain Scan was a fun movie. It would be interesting. I will say this, Dynamite Tiger, seeing a reboot or a sequel that does modernize it, because now video games, they really are so much closer to what they're kind of portraying back then. Because, you know, back then it was like Lawnmower Man came out right around the same time. Everyone thought we were on the verge of virtual reality as the norm, when really virtual reality is probably, you know, it's just now gotten to that within the last like 5 years, where we're starting to see the kinds of video games and kinds of interactions that they showed in like Lawnmower Man and Brain Scan. But you could update it, or you could just straight up reboot it and do it with like a Samsung Galaxy, pretty much. Big Papa had brought up It Follows, and then that, you know, caused a stir of echoes in the chat. No, I'm just joking. Jamie Hart. Well, first off, we are getting a Big Papa Musk does say It Follows is another good one-off. Though I think they're making a sequel soon. Yeah, I think we're getting a sequel in 2026. So that's one of I left like the ones that we know we're getting sequels off, except for Killer Clowns. I'm sorry. I just left those off because I figured we knew they were coming. Jamie Hart says standalone horror gems, Event Horizon. Yes. Oh my God. Like The Shining meets 2001 A Space Odyssey. God damn, Event Horizon is so good. Probably the best Paul W.S. Anderson movie. I don't think any of his other films even come close to reaching the kind of, you know, filmmaking quality and dread and tension that we get from Event Horizon. A couple of those Resident Evil movies are fun, but they just don't quite get there for me anyways. Pandorum. I have not seen Pandorum before. I don't even know if somebody in the chat, let me know, what the heck is Pandorum about? Lost Highway. All right. That's is Lost Highway a David Lynch thing? Ghosts of Mars, which I heard was originally supposed to be a sequel to, it was supposed to be the next like Escape from New York. Is that the one that I'm thinking of, the John Carpenter movie, Ghosts of Mars? Or is that something else? Dreamcatcher and Thinner, a couple Stephen King stories to round things out. Yeah, Dreamcatcher is really interesting. You could definitely do some sort of follow-up with that. And Thinner, I mean, it's interesting. It's almost like, what's that Sam Raimi movie? Drag Me to Hell is kind of like a spiritual sequel, you know, to something like Thinner. That whole like gypsy curse kind of thing. Yeah, man, Thinner has one of the best, like, oh, fuck endings. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but oh, fuck. Like a nice little turn in the screw twist, kind of Twilight Zone-y ending there for Thinner. Yeah. Event Horizon, they are doing a prequel comic book that shows you everything that happened on the ship, like all of the crazy, I don't even know what to call it, orgy of death and sex, sex and death. So at least we're getting that in comic book form. But yeah, Event Horizon, I could see a reboot for that too. Why the heck not? And holy cow, Pumpkin King drops a $19.99 super chat to shout out our moderator. Erica says, shout out for all you do for the channel. Like and subscribe. Yes, holy cow, there are about 35 people kicking it here with us. If you've not yet hit that like button, it's free. That's the least you could do, right? And here's the really cool thing, guys. These things really do matter. When you hit the like button, when you subscribe, when you share it with other people just to let them know about the channel, it really does help push the channel, and it helps push the live stream so more people are able to see it pop up in their feed as like a replay. So it really does count. And I know I keep on asking you to hit the like button, but it's free, so why the hell not? And thank you again so much, Pumpkin King, for the gracious, generous, and very giving super chats. You are fucking awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. There you go. Another little super chat song for you. And I'm way behind on the chat right now because I just kind of tore through those starred comments. Wanted to make sure to get through those. Okay, I think I'm back to the spot. There we go. Michelle likes the idea about the Nightmare Before Christmas sequel. I think it's really friggin' solid, man. I think it's really solid. Are we talking about It Follows there? Yeah, there we go. I need to watch it because I've never seen it. And then I can chime in. I'm just like, I have no dog in the fight. I have nothing to say. It's like one of the few times that I have nothing to say when you guys are having a good constructive conversation in the chat. Chris Sarandon is Jack's voice. Is that right? Whoa, is that right? That's kind of cool then that we've got, I mean, that ties it all back to Child's Play and Fright Night. Okay. That's great. I love that. I like Chris Sarandon. I think he's top notch. Dead Silence 2007 is another great hidden gem that doesn't need a sequel to it. Did they never do a sequel to Dead Silence? Is that right? I thought they never did one. Did they do a Dead Silence 2? Let's see here. Let me look it up. Looking it up. No official sequel. Okay. All right. You know, and I don't know if I've seen this one, guys. Yet another killer doll kind of movie. I don't think I've seen it, but hey, Jamie Hart says that's a really good one. Dead Silence. Okay. I'll have to check that one out. Maybe that'll be one I can add to my first time spooky season list here. You guys are amazing. 35 people hanging out watching this stream. Guys, if you're watching along and you want to take part in the conversation, I love including you guys. That's what this channel is all about. So if you've got a best one-off horror movie, if you want it to just stay alone, let me know. If you want to see a sequel, let me know. If you want to see a reboot, let me know. And really quick, before we continue, guys, I'm going to jump on back over and check out the poll here in the chat. Holy cow. Is it just me or am I on it tonight, guys? Is it not having alcohol for about a week that just the longer I stay away from the alcohol, the more sharp I get? I know it probably seems like I'm on some sort of upper, but no, this is just Davey. Clean as a whistle, Davey. Let me check into that poll. 44 votes. You guys are so awesome. Trick or Treat is gaining on its lead with 36%. Then we've got Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which does have a sequel in the works. That's my bad. At 30%. The Burning at 25%. And The Prowler hanging around at 9%. Jamie, I'm guessing you voted for The Burning here, right? If you voted, I'm guessing that's what you voted for. And then, guys, I do want to remind you while I'm over here just looking at things over on YouTube, there is a link pinned in the chat. Yet another thing that you can do to help the channel and boost our community here that's absolutely free. I was nominated for Best Live Streamer on the Sacred Crypt Awards. So they're doing an awards program for creators, filmmakers, and authors. And if you click that link that is pinned in the chat, you have a Google account, you can vote for me for best live streamer. And that's something that we can all hang our hat on and celebrate together. It would be really, really cool to have that, on the mantle, so to speak. Chris Sarandon is Jack's speaking voice. Awesome. And hey, is this Amanda here? I believe this is Amanda. How are you doing, miss? I think I'm right. Yes. It's so tough. I'm looking at the icon. I'm squinting. Stars in Music, Miss Amanda. So great to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. How about that? Let's see here. And I'm like way behind now in the chat. Let me jump on. Looks like Aaron, I'm guessing you're talking about my drone idea for Chopping Mall. That would be, they could do some sort of spiritual sequel, right? Just like use that same plot, just modernize it. Yeah. Avery says, I wrote a screenplay earlier this year in which the opening is drones flying around with severed limbs hanging off them, hovering over a peaceful town during pool parties and barbecues. Well, there you go. That sounds like a little opening scene for a spiritual sequel to Chopping Mall. Oh, yeah. They are working on a faculty movie. Okay. I hadn't heard that for sure. All right. Well, there we go. Eli Cortez confirmed it. Boom. There it is. Let me see here. Yeah, Brain Scan's the one with Edward Furlong. Cherry Falls is a standalone gem. R.I.P. Brittany Murphy, says J.G. Michael. Guys, you're going to hate me. I have not seen Cherry Falls. Is that like a mystery killer movie? I don't know why I always get that one confused with the movie where it's like the two sisters and one of them turns into like a werewolf. What's that movie called? Ginger Snaps. Why do I get Ginger Snaps and Cherry Falls? Why would I ever in a million years confuse those movies for each other? I've got no excuses. I am terrible. Trickster, thank you so much, Dean. Appreciate you. We got Uncle Filthy in the house. What's happening, Uncle Filth? Brain Scan was a lot of fun. I do think it's pretty fun. I just think it's Edward Furlong's performance really kind of dragged down the experience for me. But all the Giallo stuff, like the mystery and like, is this really happening? I really dug the concept. Just maybe in execution, I didn't dig it as much. Darkness Falls was a fun time. I've never seen that one, but I remember when it came out. I don't even know what that one's about. Let's see here. What else do we got? Well, The Birds did have a sequel called Land's End that I think was a TV movie. And I gotta say, out of all the Hitchcock movies, The Birds is one that just kind of bores me. I don't know. I'm a stick in the mud about The Birds. Yeah, I don't know. The Birds is for the birds. I really like stuff like Rope, Vertigo, Rear Window. Those are my 3 favorite Hitchcocks. So like Psycho isn't even in my top 3, but I like Psycho. Oh, there we go. Pat, that Halloween movie collector's got a great one. I'm going to have a sip of water. Don't hate me. Alice, Sweet Alice. Yes. Yeah. Ripe for a remake. 100% agreed. And I think this is one of those movies that's covered, at least in the trailer for Slasher Trash, that documentary that I've got an affiliate code for. If you want to help the channel out and order that doc, I will post that affiliate code link in the chat there again. But yeah, Alice Sweet Alice is really good. That movie is super creepy. I really dig the vibe of this one. It's a movie that I've only seen one time, but it really did stick with me, and one that I definitely have to revisit. I really dig that sort of dreamy, I don't know if it's a European made movie. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it definitely has that vibe, that kind of dreamy, of course it's not a giallo because we don't have a black gloved killer, and it's not like a sexy kind of movie like a lot of giallos are, but it definitely has that dreamy kind of quality. And yeah, I think this is one, we remake so many of these like proven properties, and then you risk, I don't know if offending is the right word, but you risk ruffling some feathers of people being like, I love that movie so much and I never want to see a remake of it. But then with movies like The Burning or Alice Sweet Alice or The Prowler, like stuff like that, those are some movies where it's like, man, why not? Guys, we know about The Burning. We're horror fans. We know about The Prowler. We know about Alice Sweet Alice. Like, a lot of people don't. I was just actually hanging out with my parents and my brother before coming over here and talking about what the stream was going to be, what we were going to discuss on the stream. And my brother, who's like, he's a big film buff, he's like, man, most of the ones that I think of have sequels. And I'm like, well, that's the thing, is like, if you're a hardcore horror fan, you do know about those movies that just ended right there. But a lot of people in the mainstream kind of culture, or just, if these movies didn't break through with sequels, they're not in the cultural zeitgeist, right? So I think those are the ones that we should be remaking. Alice, Sweet Alice, The Prowler, The Burning, movies that never really got, movies that could potentially turn into a franchise, but just never did. Like one we haven't even talked about. I'm very surprised no one's brought it up yet. My Bloody Valentine. It's gotten a remake, no sequel. No sequel for either the original or the remake. And I think Blumhouse is doing yet another remake. So, but I think that original film could have had an honest to goodness sequel. And in fact, I still would be down for a movie that's a period piece, a My Bloody Valentine sequel that takes place in the mid 80s. I would totally be down for that. Updated remake of Society could really work in today's climate, and the revival of body horror. Now, that is a movie I've not yet seen, and everyone tells me to see it. I do really enjoy body horror. I've got to see Society. I think that's an incredible name for a movie that I've watched the preview, and people have told me about it. I mean, the fact that there's a movie that has a title as mundane as Society, and it's one of the most like epically graphic body horror movies, I think that's brilliant. And I think you're right. Let's update it with today's culture and today's climate, and try to not be too on the nose about things. I think that whenever you're trying to like send a message, it's good to sort of not play it safe for sure, but it's good to not be too over the top in it. I think you could have something really, really amazing. Yes, thank you so much, Pumpkin King, the MVP of the stream here. And we got, holy cow, 38 people kicking it with us, guys. That is amazing for this tiny channel. That is incredible to see. If you're just joining us, let me know what some of the best one-off horror movies are, and if you want to see a sequel or a reboot or a remake of said one-off horror movie. And make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already. Prequel to The Innkeepers. What's really interesting about The Innkeepers, it's kind of a cycle, right? It is sort of a cyclical kind of thing. So I guess you could do like another story, almost like an anthology kind of thing with different characters. Yeah. Even and I know, I guess the whole point of House of the Devil is that it does end on a cliffhanger and you don't really like want to know anything past that. But there could be something there again with another Ty West property there. I think you're all good, Jamie. I've just been sort of blah blah blahing and catching up with everyone. Jay Beach says The Haunt 2019, a slasher done right. Teens go to a haunted. Oh, okay. So yeah, it's Haunt, I think is what it's called. Is it called The Haunt? I could be wrong. Yeah, Damien Maffei plays the devil guy at the end with all the crazy piercings and everything like that. Slasher done right. Teens go to a haunted house on Halloween and have to turn their phones in before going in. Yeah, it's got some Saw elements. It's got... That movie was creepy because the whole time when I'm watching it, I'm trying to figure out, like, is this real? Like, not real, but like, is this actually happening? Or are we going to find out at the end of the movie that they never were in danger? It just looked like that. But yeah, Haunt was very effective. Yeah, I watched that one. I had Damien Maffei on the channel about a year ago on Late Night with the Davey. And so I wanted to rewatch and catch up on some of his movies that I had not yet seen. So, Strangers Prey at Night and Haunt for sure. And I watched that Black-Eyed Susan, I believe is the name of it. Holy cow. That's an interesting. He actually gave me, it was after the interview, he gave me a code to watch Black-Eyed Susan where I could go. It was like a film festival. He had like a secret link or whatever. I'm glad I watched that one after interviewing him because he shows everything. He bears all in that movie. And it would have been interesting to interview him and be like, so let's talk about your dick. Which I wouldn't have said. It would have been fun and awkward, all that kind of fun stuff. Let's see here. What else do we got? Yep, I just mentioned that. But I'm sure you had mentioned that, 15 minutes before I did. There we go. Your Next was a good one-off. Yeah, Your Next is great. That's one where I'm not sure. Like, I don't even know. That's a good one-off that's just kind of good the way it is, right? Doesn't need a sequel, doesn't need a remake. It's too recent to have a remake, so maybe they might at some point, Yeah. Pandorum was meh, says Pumpkin King. Jamie says Pandorum is a lot like Event Horizon. Dennis Quaid is in it. I do like Dennis Quaid. Pandorum. Let me see if I recognize anything here from Pandorum. Sorry, guys. Taking a break from I've seen the cover with the arm down and all the stuff. Okay. So I've not seen this movie, but I've seen the Blu-ray cover for sure. If I'm looking at the right thing. Is that what's his face that was Angel in one of the X-Men movies? That looks like it might be. What's his name? Ben something? Anyways, I'll have to check that one out and see if I think it's meh or if I think it's Let me see what else we got here. Oh, I love that one. Probably didn't need a sequel. I've never seen Escape from LA. I'm sure it's fun for what it is, but I love that original one. Terrible Carpenter movie, but there's some good stuff in it. Imagine if it were Kurt Russell. And I know that movie kind of got screwed with as well in the filming process. Drag Me to Hell is a good one-off. Yeah, I really dug Drag Me to Hell. I know it's silly and everything, but I really, really dug it. Prequel to Weapons instead of a sequel. Yeah, I don't want to say anything too spoilery here, so I'm just going to I'll say this. I saw so much of the villain in Weapons that I wasn't even afraid of the villain and just wanted the movie to end. Because, it would be like Michael Myers sitting there having full-on conversations for 20 minutes. I just would not. So a prequel if you went like way back, because you get the idea that maybe the villain has been alive for a very long time. That could be interesting. Yeah, Brooke, for sure. Ghost of Mars is so much fun. I don't care. It's bad. If it's bad. Yeah, man, I'm so far behind on the chat, guys. I'm gonna skip all the way to the front of the chat here. If I miss one of yours, feel free to put it in there again. Your best one-off horror movies. We've got 39 people kicking it. So yeah, again, especially if you just hopped in and you have a best one-off horror movie you want to mention, I just feel like I'm almost 20 minutes behind on the chat. So I'm going to skip to the very front after grabbing these super chats. So if I've missed your entry, just feel free to go ahead and put it back up in the chat. And if you put Davey in caps and a little dash or something, then I'll be able to recognize it even quicker. Holy cow, Pumpkin King, $49.99, another 50 burger, says, bro, I just noticed your shirt. Nicely done. Yes, there we go. Here, for those of you, so Pumpkin King, you're relatively new here. I wear this shirt a lot. So we got our boy Leatherface, of course. We got Jason Voorhees. We've got our boy Michael, and then Freddy Krueger. Yeah, this one, talk about targeted marketing on Instagram. And I think it was maybe it was $40. I don't know. It is like the most comfortable. It's like silk boxers. It doesn't wrinkle. It breathes so well. I can wear it in any weather in Phoenix. And I tell you what, no matter where I go, it gets double takes because people are like, oh, I thought that was just some like dad Hawaiian shirt or whatever. But once they get a better look, they're like, shit, that's a really cool shirt. I've even seen there's a couple that, because I go to a lot of the horror cons and work the table for the Horror Show channel, which I'm a team member on over there at the Horror Show. There's a couple that goes around to all the cons. They've got their booth and they sell their trinkets and stuff. And the guy has the shirt, and then his wife, or his, I'm guessing that's his wife, she's got the dress. It's the same thing. It's beautiful. It's amazing. I love it. And thank you so much for the $49.99, Pumpkin King. You are, wow. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. There we go. How about that? I'm gonna just filter on through really quick. Yeah, maybe I should just cut my head off and you guys don't even need to look at my face during the stream. You can just look at my shirt. How about that? Okay, I'm going to skip ahead here. Again, if I miss yours. Eli, thank you so much for kicking it with us for a bit, bud. Really appreciate you. You are such a great pillar of the community. Hope you have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow. Sweet Revenge Watch Party. Hopefully we do. NBC short, would people be offended if it was CG? Oh, The Nightmare Before Christmas. I was like, NBC short. That's my big reservation. If you did it the right way, people might not even notice unless you said something, I think it would get better press if it were practical, but I think what would be really cool, Tyler, is if they use practical figures, but maybe you do, 3D matte paintings for like backgrounds and stuff like that could be really, really cool. I think that's sort of like the blending of the two that could be really nice. That is why the Pumpkin King is the king. Let's see here. Yeah, Pumpkin King is the king of the chat. What happened? Oh, not showing my face. Is that what you're talking about, Amanda? Is that what you're talking about? Let's see here. Oh, I saw something about Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and I can't ignore it. Oh, okay, you guys are talking about opinions. I'm tempted to make a Nightmare Before Christmas short, but it's more feasible to do it in CG. If it turned my garage into a stop motion studio, I'd finish it in 2 years. Well, that's the thing that I think a lot of people, even if they know it, I don't think they really appreciate how much time. And I think when they did one of the reasons why The Nightmare Before Christmas looks so good is because they did it like double. Didn't they do double the frames per second on the stop motion? So that's why it looks so smooth and so beautiful, but it takes twice as much work. So yeah, I think CG, you know, would be a great way to do it. I think it's a really good idea. You could do that as a fan film. You could raise money for that. Ben Foster, there you go. That's the guy. Yeah, he was in like Hell or High Water and what was it? X-Men Last Stand, where he played Angel. He's got such a recognizable, like I can just pick his face out, but I just couldn't remember his last name. Let's see what else we got going on here. You are amazing, Eli. Pumpkin King says no CG. Not even backgrounds? Well, here's the thing, Tyler. So if you did a crowdfunding for it, I guess you could hire people to help you and it wouldn't take 2 years. But you could get a cease and desist since Disney owns it. That's the fuck of it all. That, right? Doesn't Disney own the rights to that? That is... So I would say because of that, Tyler, I would just absolutely do it in CG. If Disney wants to do it, they can pay for the stop motion animation, but it would be heartbreaking to put that much time into something and, you know, not be able to actually show it off, right? See here, Davey. Aaron knows what's up. Toby Hooper's The Fun House is a good one-off as well. That was one of these that I think I put that one in here. Boom, there it is, The Fun House. This is one of those movies, another movie I've not seen from the 80s. I watched the trailer to it, and it looks like a lot of fun. Guys, I want to know what you think. I think I've asked this before, if you recommend that I watch it, and you guys said yes. Aaron, what are you thinking? Are you wanting a remake of The Funhouse? Do you want to see a legacy sequel? I'm guessing you probably want to see like a modernized remake, right? Something like that. Yeah, 2 years is generous. Those things take so long. Yeah. We got Ben Grimm in the chat. What's happening? Ben says, I really like Brightburn. I've not yet seen Brightburn. That's like the evil Superman kind of thing, right? Like, what if a kid had all of Superman's powers but was a bad guy? Is that, I guess that does kind of have horror vibes, huh? That one, man, and they've talked about doing some sort of follow-up to that, but it's just never happened, huh? I feel like I've seen little bits here and there of people talking about, you know, doing, you know, some sort of Brightburn 2 or some kind of follow-up. Paula, let me know what yours was again. I had to scan through the chat really quick because I felt like I was really behind and didn't want to be behind forever. Ben Foster been in a ton, even Freaks and Geeks. I love Freaks and Geeks. Who was he in there? Is he just in like an episode or two? I mean, I know the show didn't run that long. I love that show. Great comedy, really good heart too. I don't trust Disney with their, yeah. Well, if you let Tim Burton produce it, because he produced the original, he didn't direct the original, but I think he either wrote the story or helped write the story and was there to produce it. So if they let him just kind of cook, we could be okay. Thank you so much for kicking it with us, Chester. You are amazing, man. Really appreciate you being part of our lovely community. It's so awesome having you be one of us. And I hope you have a great night's sleep, bud. Take care. Live action remake of Nightmare Before Christmas. Man, how would they do that? That would be wild. What, like motion capture? Because I just don't know if it would really sell, even if you had really great costumes. I'm not sure if that would work. But if you're talking about motion capturing, then I guess at that point you might as well just do a... Although, you know what? It's Disney, so fuck. They've been doing all of those live action remakes that I don't understand. Other than, I guess they're relatively bankable for them to just keep on putting those out. Avery says Rob Zombie would nail a remake to The Funhouse. What do you guys think of that in the chat? Rob Zombie remaking The Funhouse, starring Sherry Moon Zombie. Right? Huh? The Funhouse is due for a remake, as is Hell House. Okay. Pat's pulling out some good ones here. Hell House. And okay, the Funhouse remake. Well, Pat, what do you think about Rob Zombie directing that one? Jamie says Brightburn scared me to death. Oh my God. Okay. Well, I've got to see it then. Brightburn, is it streaming anywhere? Let's see. Streaming on Hulu. I need to get some Hulu information. Somebody send me your Hulu login. Because I'm cheap. Because I'm stupid. Dad says I've watched Funhouse twice, don't care for it, but a remake done right could be good. Haunt is a good standalone. Yeah. There you go. Okay, so Paula did bring up My Bloody Valentine. Yeah, let's talk about that one. Let me see really quick before we get to that, Paula. James Gunn's brother and Gunn produced it. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so I didn't know that it was connected with Super. That's pretty cool. And James Gunn's brother directed it? Very interesting. He's in all of those movies. Yeah. I always get Damien Leone and Damien Maffei confused for a moment when hearing their names. Kind of the Night of the Creeps / Comet thing. Yeah. Yeah, they don't look like too much alike, but they don't look like too dissimilar either, you know. Handsome white dudes. Antlers is a movie of a Wendigo. It stars Kerry Russell as a teacher, but it's almost very similar to Weapons in a supernatural way. Okay. I'll have to check out Antlers. I remember seeing the preview when it was announced. But let's go ahead and bring up Funhouse Remake, says Aaron. Tyler Adams says, sign me up for a live action remake because he's got the mocap tech. So there you go. You could do a live action Nightmare Before Christmas remake with Tyler Adams. RZ's World, basically, for Funhouse. Dean Renner says, wait. Like My Hell House? Hell House LLC? A remake? Is that the one you're talking about, Pat? Or isn't there an older movie called Hell House? Hell House 80? Isn't there something from the 80s? There's Hell Night. Okay. Legend of Hell House? I don't know. Pat, let me know. Let's see here. Rob Zombie would nail the Funhouse. I want Rob Zombie to tackle Halloween 3. Okay, Season of the Witch remake. But yeah, really quick. Paula had mentioned, let's see here. I've got it brought up. My Bloody Valentine. Yes, so we do know there's a remake on the way from Blumhouse, guys. How do we feel about this one as a standalone? Does anyone in the chat prefer the 3D remake to the original? I certainly don't, but more power to you if you do. And yeah, I don't what do they do? We've already had 2 false starts on this franchise. Do you think Blumhouse is going to kind of crack the formula and put something together that will be lasting and that will at least get one sequel? I would imagine when Blumhouse goes in and purchases these properties that they have plans to do more than one movie, so they're probably dead set on at least getting a second one out. I don't know. Do they make this? Should they make this a period piece? It's interesting. I guess you could modernize it. I love the look of Harry Warden. I just think it's such an iconic look. There's something about that miner outfit, very similar to the way I just love the John Carver look. Even though John Carver has one movie, I think the look has the potential for that iconic kind of status, just because there's just something so simple and clean about it. But yeah, My Bloody Valentine. What do you guys think in the chat? Give me all your My Bloody Valentine feelings and thoughts on the original, on the remake, this upcoming Blumhouse remake, and anything else you got. I forgot about Hell Night. That would be cool if done right. Hell Night's a really good movie. I've never seen that one, but I think it's on Shudder, so that's one I can add to my list. Night of the Bastard was a fun film I watched back in October. Kind of a Siege with occult vibes and a standalone. I don't know, but it was on Shudder. I've never heard of that one. Is it like a Shudder exclusive, Uncle Filthy? Is it relatively new? I've never heard of it. You know, it's interesting. Yeah, they did a sequel to, because they did the original When a Stranger Calls. Then they did do a sequel to that called When a Stranger Calls Back, but we never got a sequel for that remake. I've never seen the remake, actually. Okay, you meant Hell Knight. I thought that that's maybe, yeah, there you go. Yeah, so it sounds like Hell Knight's pretty killer, but it sounds like it could stand to have a sequel, right? That's what we're getting into here. So what, Hell Knight is a 1981 American supernatural slasher film directed by Tom DeSimone and starring Linda Blair, Vincent Van Patten, Kevin Brophy, and Peter Barton. The film depicts a night of fraternity hazing set in an old manor, the site of a familial mass murder, during which a deformed killer terrorizes and murders many of the college students. Ooh, there we go. Filmmaker Chuck Russell served as an executive producer. All right. Longtime collaborator Frank Darabont served as a production assistant. Interesting pedigree and team on that one. Yeah, why not? Let's give it a remake. Oh, I don't know if he's got the chops, Billy Judd. He is it's so weird. It's like, I went and saw that ballerina movie. Oh my God, it bored the hell out of me. Never been so bored. Wall-to-wall action, but nothing else. So I was like, okay, another action scene. Like, what is this? Like, it's just like a series of TikToks. And then I was like, oh wow, Keanu's really bad in this. But generally I like him. But sometimes I'm just like, Keanu, I don't know if you're trying today, bud. Paula likes the remake of My Bloody Valentine, but the OG is a classic. Yeah. Of course, Paula likes Jensen Ackles. All the ladies love Jensen Ackles. I think it's like a rule that if you are a woman, regardless of any other qualifiers, regardless of orientation, you still have to think that Jensen Ackles is handsome. It's on the card. It's on the I'm a lady card where it's just like must love Jensen Ackles. Yeah, I have a lot of fun with the 3D remake. But that OG, I love the friend group on the OG. They really feel like best pals. J Beach says Hell Knight was my favorite horror as a kid. Linda Blair, and produced by Irwin Yablans. Where do we know that name from? Yeah. A little movie called Halloween, maybe? Okay, Hell Knight was a nice out of the blue deep cut. All right. Okay, so tonight I'll be watching Sleepaway Camp to get ready for our watch party tomorrow. Remember, guys, so hey, if you are just jumping in now, maybe this is your first time hanging out, maybe it isn't, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And because the amazing people in the chat reached our super chat goal of, I believe it was 5 super chats of just $2 each, because we reached that goal, Late Night with the Davey is going to start early tomorrow, folks, because the Jason Universe people on their YouTube page are going to premiere the Sweet Revenge short tomorrow at 8:15 Eastern. So we're going to get going just after 8 p.m. Eastern here on the channel, and we're going to do a watch party of that Sweet Revenge short. I'll keep my microphone muted, all that good kind of stuff, but we can kind of chat in the chat. And then once the short is over, we can have a little open discussion. And then after that, we're going to jump into Sleepaway Camp. And I've never seen it before. So tonight will be my first time viewing of that. So if you want to jump in and have some fun as we finish out the summer here, one last trip to camp. How about it? And then after watching Sleepaway Camp tonight, Uncle Filthy, I'll have to put on Hell Knight. I will. Boom! Pumpkin King with another super chat, this time dropping a $9.99er, and says, Davey, I have codes for you for digital downloads of the original Jurassic Park trilogy and the Jurassic World trilogy. How do I get you the codes you can use for a giveaway or whatever? Hell yeah, Pumpkin King. So if you have social media, my links are in the description down below. You can reach out to me on Instagram or on Twitter. And then if you want to reach out to me, if you don't have socials, if you want to reach out to me through email, there's my email. I just dropped it in the chat. Very easy to remember. Thank you so much. I mean, that original Jurassic Park, I saw it like 3 times in the theater. So here's the thing too. I've never seen, other than Rebirth, I didn't see any of the other Jurassic World movies. So none of the Chris Pratt, what's her face, Ron Howard's daughter. I can't even think of her name right now. I'm such a movie fan. Right? Isn't it Ron Howard's daughter that's in that one? Anyways, yeah, I haven't seen any of those, so I would like to check those out for sure. Yeah, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate you sharing the codes. And again, thank you for the $9.99 super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Ooh, yeah. There you go. Another little song. I know they're basically the same song, just with a little different flutters. Boom. Something I'm doing with Vin is going to use motion capture. Oh, baby. Don't get me all squirmy down under, Tyler. Come on. And I think you're working on some stuff with Cecil, right? Can't wait to see what you guys are cooking up there. Something that might be super cool, maybe. Something that just might be super cool and have a man in it, perhaps. Yeah, I'm very subtle. Okay, let's see here. Yes, thank you so much again, Pumpkin King. You rock. Avery says it would be interesting if they actually focus on Harry Warden and the massacre from 20 years before the events of the original. Yeah. I mean, we kind of already know what happens there, but I will say this. If we're going to do a Harry Warden movie, it's got to be a straight reboot, right? If they want to go Axel, if they want to kind of do... Here's the shame. The ending of My Bloody Valentine's so awesome because you've already established this killer look. We know who the killer is by the end of the movie. We know it's not Harry Warden, but somebody that is imitating him. And when Axel like loses his arm and he's like running back into the caves, like laughing maniacally, what's really cool about that is if they had done a sequel, we already know who the killer is, so you don't have to worry about the whodunit. You just get to have some fun and have a traditional slasher and a one-armed killer in a miner outfit with a gas mask on. Are you friggin' kidding me? Awesome. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so pumped about Thanksgiving too. And I know you guys that have been here for a while, you've like heard me talk about Thanksgiving. Guys, I fucking love Thanksgiving. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but you know, Thanksgiving is a whodunit revenge slasher. So if you haven't seen the movie, I'm not going to spoil it. I can't say that the chat won't spoil it though. We know who the killer is by the end of the movie, right? In Thanksgiving. And we're led to believe that that person might have gotten away. Now, since they're doing a sequel, I'd imagine that, yes, that person did get away. So I think what's really cool about that sequel is, yeah, no more whodunit, just a traditional slasher. And then they could wrap up the trilogy with a little something different. And you could have 3 movies in a slasher trilogy that would all be different subgenres of the subgenre, which would be really cool. And that's what I want to see from My Bloody Valentine. I want to see something where they where they kind of keep us, like, give us the vibes of the original, but let's actually continue the story from there. Will do, Michelle. Will do. Please, everyone. Wow, Hell Night. That's, you guys, I do have to watch it. Okay, I will watch Hell Night. I'll watch it. I'll cover it. Maybe we'll talk about it during spooky season. Could be really fun. That's a decent 80s slasher I found through Drum Dums. Definitely give it a watch. Hell Night. Pumpkin King. Legend. Yes. Let's see here. Night of the Bastard came out in 23 or 24. Okay. All right. I'll have to check it out. I've got that. I've got this shader. Pat says, love the When a Stranger Calls remake, much better than the original. The original becomes a snooze fest after the opening sequence with Carol Kane. That's too bad. And the remake, I remember that actress that was in it. I don't remember if she was in very much, but man, strikingly beautiful. Strikingly. One standalone movie is the well, is it though? Because Dr. Sleep is technically a sequel, right? Isn't it? Isn't Dr. Sleep a sequel? I think it is. I think it is. Oh, you guys talking about Society? Yeah, I gotta see this one. I love body horror. I mean, Together, I think Together is my favorite horror movie of 2025 so far. I liked it a lot better than Weapons, and I'm giving it the edge over Sinners because Together is like a through and through horror movie, where Sinners, like, you know, the first half isn't horror at all, but Sinners is an like amazing movie. But I would give Together the edge for sure. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Ashton. Right there with you. It's going to be 8:50, or let's just shoot for 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. All right, everyone wants that Hell Night action. Yes, and I'll probably go live a little bit before that, but that's when their feed launches. So let's just be ready for that. Yeah, Sleepaway Camp watch along tomorrow after the Sweet Revenge watch party and discussion. It's going to be a big old epic hangout tomorrow. No big deal. No big deal. I'm so sorry. Yeah, is it? No, it's Bryce Dallas Howard, right? Right? Isn't it Bryce first? I don't know. Bryce Dallas Howard, right? There we go. I think that's it. World Trilogy is too cynical for my taste. Yeah, I really know nothing about it other than one of the actors' names, and then I knew that the actress was Ron Howard's daughter. Let's see what else we got. I'm going to see just if there was anything else that we hadn't talked about yet. So we talked about this. Dead Alive. Guys, how cool would it be if Peter Jackson, come on home, Peter. Come on home to horror, bud. We need you. You need this, Peter Jackson. You've made these huge movies. You've, made Academy Award winning films, or an Academy Award winning film, at least Best Picture. I mean, tons of other awards for those other Lord of the Rings films. Peter, we want you to come back. We need you, bud. And I think that you need us too. So let's bring back a little Brain Dead / Dead Alive action. Whether you want to do a spiritual sequel, heck, maybe you just want to remake Bad Taste. I don't know. Or you want to reboot Dead Alive. Oh my God, I need this so bad in my life. Huge Evil Dead fan here, as you can tell. Oh, right there. I try to do the weatherman thing. Huge Evil Dead fan, as you can tell. And man, Dead Alive to me is just like, it's just kind of right there. I know Dead Alive is a zombie movie. Evil Dead is a demonic possession movie. I get it. But Dead Alive is my second favorite zombie film of all time, next to George A. Romero's Day of the Dead. And I would love to see Peter Jackson, whatever he wants to do really in horror, I just love to see him come back and do something that's a total splatterfest. That's what I want from Peter Jackson. So whether it's in the Dead Alive universe, something like that, I don't know. I could keep him for me. I'll be selfish about it. Yeah. Oh my God, Carol Kane's hilarious in Scrooged. Scrooged is my favorite Christmas movie. I love that movie so fucking much. It makes me, I get weepy. Not gonna lie. I actually enjoy the entirety of the OG When a Stranger Calls, but I get why so many people don't. Yeah, if it turns into something super slow after so much excitement, I can get it. I don't think I've ever seen the original, though. I think I've seen the sequel to it. Yeah. They're both really good, Aaron. Don't let the overhype ruin it for you, though. I know a lot of people that waited months to see Sinners, and they're like, what's all this about? And it's like, well, you've been listening to people say it's great for months. How could you not be disappointed? So I think it's best to just go in and think to yourself, oh, cool, I'm going to see a movie that's got some Tarantino flair and some vampire action. So yeah, the comparisons to From Dusk Till Dawn are fair, although I do think it's different enough to stand on its own. For sure. She's so hilarious in that movie. Isn't she? She's the mom in License to Drive as well. I mean, she always cracks me up. Ooh, I really love Cronenberg's movies. I have not seen Videodrome, though, Pat. Like, I really love his, you know, The Fly and Scanners. Really dig Scanners. Yeah, Cronenberg's visual effects, the practical effects are amazing. Videodrome. That's one I've been meaning to see. I'm going to look it up just so I don't forget. Ooh, Peter Weller. Or no, James Woods. I'm like, it looks like Peter Weller in the little picture. I love James Woods. Debbie Harry. All right. Blondie herself. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to check this one out. And it takes place at a UHF station. A UHF station. Shout out to RJ Fletcher. Oh my gosh, we've got Curtis from Twisted Locker and his brand new channel, Cult Locker. What's happening, Curtis? So great to see you, bud. Welcome on in. We're talking about our favorite one-off horror movies. I'm sure you've got so many that you could share with us, but I also imagine that maybe you're getting ready for work now. Hope you are doing well. Looking forward to jumping in on one of your guys' next live streams. Thank you so much, Pumpkin King. Appreciate you, bud. Killing it tonight. I Am Legend, that is a good standalone. Yeah. A little, I mean, I guess the newer one had horror elements. Is the original, what the original was called, what, the Omega Man, I think is what they called the original with Charlton Heston. Is that one more horror than I Am Legend? Yes, do horror again, Peter Jackson. God damn it. Frightener sequel. That's, I mean, Manny's Manic Media. Welcome on into the chat, by the way. That's another really good standalone. I think The Frighteners is hilarious. It's a good, like, I don't know. I like horror comedy. I don't have any issues with that, especially if it's just consistent, you know, in its vibe and its tone. It's been a while since I've seen The Frighteners, but it did crack me up. Absolutely. I could take something like that for sure, you know. Might even be able to get Michael J. Fox in there, and might even be able to work his illness into the story in a way. Is, you know, if you do it tastefully and of course you get his input on it, it could be something that could work for sure. Curtis here, because Jamie's like not sure which one you are. Yeah, well, now Jenks has his own zombie locker, and then Curtis has Cult Locker, and then they're both doing Twisted Locker. So now we should be able to decipher the two a little bit easier. Yes. Everyone's saying what's up. Okay, let's see here. Holy cow, guys, we are at about 2 hours. I think I'm reaching my vocal limit here. And also, you gotta leave them wanting more, right? Is that the goal? Videodrome is great. Videodrome is a mind fuck. Debbie is so good in Videodrome. Oh my goodness. Gotta see it. Yes, and thank you so much for bringing that up, Erica. Now that we have some new people that have jumped into the chat. Yes, as Erica says here, the link to vote is pinned in the top of the chat. And there is a awards group that's called the Sacred Crypt Awards. And they're doing, they've put together a ballot for creators, filmmakers, and authors. And I found out very early this morning that I actually found out because Sam from Our Life in Horror had posted about it, because they're nominated in a couple categories. And I was like, oh, I wonder if I'm in here somewhere. And yes, the Davey Death Ray channel is nominated for Best Live Streamer. And if you click that link and you have a Google account, you can vote for Davey Death Ray there. You can vote for little old me. Vote for your boy. Chaboy. Holla at Chamoy. So that would, just a great little free thing you can do to, help support the channel. And that would be something that I would celebrate with you guys and consider that a win for every single one of us, because you guys are such a massive part of what we do here at the channel. The channel would be so boring if it was just me, guys. Can you imagine? Just me saying I haven't seen a bunch of movies over and over again, and then just talking about the movies I have seen over and over again without all y'all hanging out. Oh my gosh, it would be terrible. It would be terrible. So yes, that's one thing you can do. And then also another thing I'm going to do, because guys, we have only 1 day and 10 hours left in the campaign for the Slasher Trash documentary. Curtis, this is right up, as you guys say over there, we say right up my alley. That's what we say stateside. But I've noticed that y'all across the pond say right up my street. So this one is right up your street, Curtis. This link right there. So this documentary is from the folks that created the In Search of Darkness documentary series. And they've put together a 4+ hour documentary celebrating the gritty, grimy, trashiest of trashy slashers from the late 70s and 80s. Now, it's about $48 for the digital copy, but you do get your name in the credits, and you also get a digital copy of the soundtrack. And there are events that Creator VC is going to put together within this next year that you will have access to as well. And then for $80, you can actually get a copy on Blu-ray with a slipcover. You get a certificate, all sorts of fun stuff, and of course, all the other perks. And you can just go up and up and up. There's all sorts of packages. The film is set to drop next fall. And I would say that if you're a fan of the In Search of Darkness series, this is worth a purchase. You're going to get the same kind of quality, and especially if you're a big fan of trashy, Curtis, trashy 70s and 80s slashers, then it's right up your street. So there you go. Just had to drop that in there again. You know, Michelle, I don't know, because I don't have any way of following. I would have to like bug him and be like, how am I doing? And I don't want to be that guy. What I want to do is I just want to remind y'all about it and just put it out there and hope that we get the win. And I'll let you guys know and we'll celebrate it. It'll be fun. I don't know if they're going to do like a stream when they do the announcement or whatever, but when that time comes, I will share it with you guys as soon as I have that information for sure. And speaking of votes, I'm going to close out our poll here on the YouTubes before I forget. 47 votes. The question is, which non-franchise horror would you like to see a sequel or remake of most? Oh my God, guys, I'm so sorry, but we're going to need at least one more vote because Trick or Treat and Killer Clowns from Outer Space are tied with 34%. The Burning is in third place with 23%, and The Prowler, one of my favorite slashers, one-off slashers, just 9%. And boom, there it is. I'm going to end it at 48 votes. Killer Clowns from Outer Space wins with 35%. The Burning comes in second place with 33%. And I'm waiting for YouTube to load this shit up. Where you at, YouTube? Come at me, bro. Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh my God. There we go. Killer Clowns wins with 35%, Trick or Treat with 33%, The Burning with 22%, and The Prowler with 8%. And Jamie says she was that 9%. Probably, Jamie. Maybe 2 people voted. I don't know. Let me see. Hey, Siri, what is 9% of 48? 4.32, Jamie. So I'm guessing there was you and 3 others that voted for The Prowler. Yeah, and I guess we are getting a remake of Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So you guys are getting what you want. Boom, there it is. And yeah, let's see here. I'm going to take that off of there. I would have voted for The Prowler. Just saying, I would have voted for it. That's one that I really want to see remade for sure. There you go. And a few others did. So 3 other people in addition to Jamie Hart. Jay Beach says, I think Trick or Treat is still too new to be remade. But what a sequel. They've been talking about that sequel for a really long time and we just haven't seen it. So yeah, I wasn't too crazy about The Burning. It was a little too Harvey Weinstein for me. If you didn't know, Harvey Weinstein wrote the story for The Burning. I don't think he wrote the script, but he wrote the story. And you can tell. You can certainly tell. I bought that as a blind buy. I'd never seen it. Bought it, found it really cheap on Amazon on Blu-ray, and I watched it, and I was like, man, this movie reeks of Harvey Weinstein. Just P.U. But Thank you so much, Paula. Really appreciate you. All of you guys that voted, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. If Killer Clowns gets remade, then they need to include the biker dude getting his block knocked off by Shorty. You know, I don't know if it's going to be a sequel or a remake. I hope they find just new ways of kind of bringing in familiar ideas. Tyler Adams says The Prowler is fantastic. Watched it for the first time last year because of Davey. Yeah, I do think, you know, The Prowler admittedly has some pacing issues. I mean, it's a 1981 slasher. Fuck, Halloween 2, which is another 1981 slasher, has pacing issues, whereas the original Halloween didn't. So I'm going to give a little bit of grace to The Prowler, and that's why I think it would make a great remake, because I think there's so much good there. Love the look of The Prowler. Love those revenge whodunits. So it's just a sucker for that shit. And I dig The Prowler for what it is. But yeah, I hear you. I would say, if I'm being fair, you know, 3.5 out of 5, you know? And now if I'm only thinking about it in the terms of like 80s slashers, it's probably like a 4. Yeah, it's probably like a 4. It's tough, guys. With my 5-star scale, I compartmentalize. Like, Citizen Kane is a 5-star movie. Jaws is a 5-star movie. I'm not going to try to compare The Prowler to those movies. So The Prowler can be a 3.5 to 4 within slasherdom. How about that? Jamie is going to bed. Thank you so much for kicking it with us, Jamie. Holy cow, on painkillers. I don't even know how you stayed awake this long, but I hope you feel better, and I hope you get a great night's sleep, miss. Hopefully we will see you tomorrow. And yeah, guys, I'm just going to make sure we're over 2 hours. I'm going to make sure there's not any, maybe we should do a part 2 of this, because I've got some movies like Shaun of the Dead, Happy Birthday to Me, April Fool's Day, Better Watch Out, Pumpkin King, I'm looking at you. Sequel to Better Watch Out. I know you're a Christmas horror movie fan. I think Better Watch Out's I watched that for the first time last year. Fucked me up, bro. I would love a sequel to that, especially now that the actors actually have gotten older. Just make a true legacy sequel would be great. So yeah, Shaun of the Dead, Happy Birthday to Me, April Fool's Day, Better Watch Out, Valentine, which I'm not too hot on, but I'm curious to know if you guys would want a reboot. It is based on a book, so maybe they could reboot it. Maybe, I've never read the book, but maybe going more faithful, or even veering further, you know, swinging the pendulum a little further either way. Possibly setting up a franchise if they can do a better job at it. I do think that the Cupid Killer has a very good look. So yeah, we have a handful more of these that I wasn't able to bring up, and then I'm sure you guys have plenty more as well. So I'm gonna say, you know, just kind of start saying the goodbyes, see what you guys have to say here. JG Michael says The Prowler isn't even meant to be judged by the same. Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. That's why when I do my 5-star rankings, I'm usually kind of judging them within their realm, you know, not comparing all of film, but comparing almost like genre by genre, if that makes sense. Speaking of Jaws, I got the Mondo / Death Waltz 50th anniversary vinyl soundtrack in today. Ooh. I love vinyl. That's my favorite thing to collect, guys. That's my physical media. That is what I'm in love with. 350 records deep in my collection. And I've got stuff that's all over the place. I think John Carpenter I have the most of, like John Carpenter and Elvis Costello, but I'm a big like punk rock and metal fan, as you guys know. So NoFX, Face to Face, even like some ska shit like Mighty Mighty Bosstones and Operation Ivy. I dig that Weezer shit. So I've got like Pinkerton and the Blue Album. I got some Frank Zappa in there, The Zombies, Odyssey and Oracle, which is one of my favorite records of all time. The Presidents of the United States. I got an anniversary vinyl of their very first record. They are one of the most original sounding bands ever. Oh my God, I love vinyl. And I'm so jealous of you, Dean. I'm so jealous that you have that. And I don't. You have everything. I have nothing. I hope you dig it, man. Are you a big record... are you a big vinyl fan? Are you an audiophile, Dean? Do you have like a really cool setup and everything? I guess what I'm asking is, do you actively listen to and enjoy your vinyl collection, or do you, at this point, are you more of a collector? I'm curious, and I don't have any judgment either way. I'm just curious to know, because I know some people like to collect vinyl and maybe they don't necessarily listen to it, but they like to have it because it's big, beautiful physical media. I agree, Michelle. You guys have been amazing. I mean, even as I'm saying, kind of starting to say goodbyes, we've got 28 people still kicking it with us. I love hanging out with you guys. You know, I had my second therapy session today, just going through and, you know, trying to figure out how to show myself more grace and be nicer to myself, and to find some value and some love from within, because honestly, guys, that's something that I struggle to do. And hanging out with you guys is such a healthy escape. So I'm happy and beyond grateful that I've got a healthy escape, because I've had plenty of unhealthy escapes in my life, and I'm just about 7 days away from one of them, and I hope I never try to make that escape ever again. And you guys make it so much easier to deal. So thank you so much. I have had such a blast as well, Michelle. I'm so happy that you keep on coming back. I love seeing new people in the chat and just watching the community grow. It's so rare that we ever have any weirdness in the chat here, and that's a credit to you guys. It's also a credit to the mods that keep it. I was almost going to say the mobs. It's also a credit to the mods that keep things very even keeled and, you know, make sure that there's an even temperament. But honestly, guys, you don't give the mods very much work to do in that regard, and for that, I'm very, very thankful. So I appreciate every single one of you guys. Is Patrick Warburton in Better Watch Out? I've only seen it once, so I remember mostly like the kids. Yeah, Better Watch Out's freaking awesome. It is so much more hardcore than I thought it was going to be. Is it even rated R? It's got to be rated R, because it's friggin' gory, man. It was kind of blew my mind, honestly. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and say it was one of the best movies I've ever seen. I just didn't expect it to go that hard. And Better Watch Out goes hard. Yeah. I would certainly take a sequel, especially because who knows? Who knows what happens? That kid could get away with it or get out because it happened when he was a juvenile, you know? Christmas Bloody Christmas could get a sequel. I really like that movie. Have I seen that one? Is that the one where the kid sees Santa doing his mom at the beginning? Or is this a more recent one? That's the recent one with the robot, with the Terminator. Okay. I thought that movie was actually pretty fun for what it was, honestly. I did have fun with that one. They could certainly do a sequel to that. You're not putting the Prowler in the same class as Citizen Kane. How dare you? This is a travesty. Yes, that's how I'm reading it, Jay. Hopefully I've got your inflection down there. Okay, guys, let me see here. I guess we are rounding out. He Knows You're Alone is a fun, cheesy 1980s slasher with a cameo from a young Tom Hanks. And Paul Gleason, the Principal Vernon from The Breakfast Club. That guy is such a great character actor in those 80s movies. He's got a little tiny role in National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1 as well, which is one of my favorite comedies of all time. So it sounds like, guys, let me know in the chat. It sounds like we need to do a part 2 at some point. I'm not saying it's got to be within the next couple days, but let me know. In fact, since we have so many people still kicking it with us, do you guys want a part 2 of best one-off horror movies? And I'll make it really easy. It's just a yes or a no. I've only asked you guys to vote for me for best live streamer, to purchase a 4+ hour documentary using my affiliate code, and to vote on the one-off movie that you want to see remade or sequelized the most, and to fulfill a 5 super chat goal. I'm not asking very much. I'm kidding. I'm asking the friggin' world. I know it, but I just want to know if you guys want to do a part 2, because we could work in those movies like He Knows You're Alone and anything else that we may have missed here. Whoa. Please share. Please share, J Beach. What's the name of the channel? That documentary is so good, Aaron. The Shark Is Still Working is great, and the cool thing about it is that 50th anniversary doc, if you guys haven't seen it, maybe 5% overlap. hardly any overlap. Very much worth watching. I kind of got teary-eyed at the end. It was Steven Spielberg is about as humble of a guy you can be for having the amazing career he's had. I mean, he is, say what you want. You don't even have to love every single one of his movies, but when you look at his filmography, it's pretty incredible, everything that he's accomplished. And the fact that he, 26 years old, he did such a good job making Jaws that he got final cut from there on out that is like big dick status if I've ever heard of it. Let's see here. Yes, thank you so much. Really appreciate you showing that love for the community and for the folks here, Erica. Thank you. I have a dumb amount of vinyl, a wall's worth. I listen to it. Hell yeah, Manny. I love that. I need to listen to more of my vinyl. I did, when I was still in the other house and everything, I listened a lot more. But I, try not to disturb my brother too much with music all the time. I still have to pick up a decent record player, about 30 vinyl. Okay, film scores. Great. Yeah, dude, I could send you a link for the setup I have. I think it's a great setup. It'll fill your room with sound, and it won't cost too much or be too cumbersome to move around for sure. So if you want that, I can reach out and share that with you. Let's see here. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, I don't even know how many likes we're at. I'm going to check the poll here. Everyone is saying goodbye, but we still have 24 people. Avery wants to keep on going. I think I'm just reaching for Avery for I've got to watch Sleepaway Camp tonight. I have to edit my weapons review. So I'm going to be up just, working on some stuff for the channel because I've never seen Sleepaway Camp and I want to make sure I watch it before we do the watch party tomorrow so I can actually focus on chit-chatting with you guys and talking about the film and everything. Otherwise, I would totally keep on going, Avery. But maybe, guys, maybe we can work in once a week. We can find like a true late night. Because I like going, I wouldn't even mind starting at like 10 p.m. my time, which was just a half hour ago. Because I'd love to see more people from across the pond be able to join in and all that kind of fun stuff too. But I want to check the poll here really quick. 16 votes and everyone wants to do it. Okay, so that's what we'll do, Avery. I'll be back tomorrow, though. Don't worry, Avery. Back tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. We are going to do a live watch party of the Sweet Revenge Jason Universe / Angry Orchard short film. And then we're going to jump into a discussion after the watch party of that. And then after that discussion, we're going to jump into Sleepaway Camp. So we're going to have a friggin' blast. And then I will plan a part 2. I'm going to make sure to add in here. He knows you're alone because Pat had mentioned that. And we could do a part 2 of this, guys. I think it would be fun to do a part 2 of best one-off horror movies. How about it? Okay, guys, that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you so much for voting for Davey Deathray. Good old Davey Deathray for best live streamer. Really appreciate it. And thank you guys so much for being subscribers, hanging out on the live chat, being really cool to one another, participating in the discussion. It makes these live streams so much fun and so much more fun than me just talking at you. Big shout out to the Patreon members and the YouTube channel members as well. Huge shout out to our amazing group of channel moderators. And I'm going to go through the super chats and celebrate those as well, guys. And hey, by the way, I want to let all of you channel members know that for every month of channel membership, you can send in a milestone chat. So it sort of reads like a super chat, but it's just green and it tells us how long you've been a channel member. And we can kind of reflect and just sort of celebrate your membership on the channel right then and there in front of everyone. So big love to Pumpkin King for a 199. Big Papa Musk with a $5. Pumpkin King dropped another super chat, this time a $9.99. Pumpkin King dropping a $49.99. Erica dropping a $5. Pumpkin King with a $19.99. Pumpkin King with a $49.99. And Pumpkin King with a $9.99. Oh my goodness, you guys are amazing. Man, if we can keep this up and I can keep you guys entertained and happy and we can just keep on growing as a community, then at some point, we very well may get to the point where I can pour 80 hours into this thing every week and have it be my dream job. I mean, this would be my dream job. But I've got to keep everything running nice and smooth over on my end. You guys are absolutely amazing. I will be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, for Sweet Revenge, followed by a discussion and, of course, sleep away, tuck it between your legs, camp to send off the summer. So whew, I think that's all I got for you this time around, guys. Am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. Thank you so much to everybody checking out the live stream. If you've watched after the fact and you've actually gotten to this point of the stream, then wow, that is amazing. Thank you so much. Drop down into the comments. Let me know some of the best one-off horror movies that we didn't discuss tonight, or just let me know your thoughts on some of the movies we did talk about, and we'll see you pretty soon on a part 2 of this very same topic. But you know what, guys? Until next time, I've been and will continue being Davey Deathray. Take care.